Welcome to the Rockabye Revenue Podcast with me, Abby Watson. I'm a mum of 4 and a business strategist, and I train people to become hypnobirthing teachers. In the last decade, I've built a thriving baby business that grew beyond my wildest dreams. This podcast is for you if you run a business or dream of running a business in the birth and baby industry. You want to change lives whilst making more money. I'm talking about creating sustainable income whilst being present for the people that matter most. I believe for our baby businesses to have the impact we desire, we must be rewarded. On this podcast, expect me to share actionable strategies without the jargon. I've been where you are. I've built a business while raising 4 little ones, and now I'm here to help you turn your passion into profit while creating the life you've always dreamed of. So let's get started. Hello and welcome to another episode of Rockabye Revenue. Now, guess what? I am here with my very first guest on this podcast. Never had a guest. Normally you just listen to me, don't you? Jabbering on. And today I have someone very special with me. Someone that I actually met when she did my hypnobirthing teacher training a couple of years ago, I'm guessing. I don't know. She can confirm that. But I have the wonderful Hannah Wallis with me today. Hannah, as you may know, runs the Little Rosebuds Academy. And Hannah is the queen of doing multiple things in her baby business. Now, not only that, in her fairly short time in this industry, she has done incredible things, from setting up her own baby business, teaching baby massage, running hypnobirthing courses, and many other things. And now also training people to be incredible baby massage teachers just like her, and supporting them in their business. Now, to me, that's hugely inspiring, because in that time as well, she's had a baby, and we all know what that's like, and how actually that can often be the thing that puts a hurdle in our way, but she did not let that happen. So I'm so happy to be here with Hannah. Hello, Hannah, how are you?
Hello, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm so pleased you are here. I mean, I just introduced you there very briefly. Do you want to introduce yourself properly?
Yes, sure, why not? So, I'm Hannah. I own I actually own 2 businesses. So I own Little Rosebuds Wellbeing, which is the teaching side of baby massage, hypnobirthing, pregnancy relaxation, and I'm currently also teaching mum and baby fitness classes, and which is actually what I've just come from this morning. I've had a quick shower dash, and then in the end of September last year, I then launched Little Rosebuds Academy, which is now a fully accredited baby massage teacher training school. And I also offer business mentorship for birth and baby businesses. So not just baby massage teachers, because I've got the experience now of running a birth and a baby business and being quite successful with it on social media. I now support other people. So there's a lot going on.
Fabulous. And
also a mum.
Also a mum, absolutely.
Also a mum to a 14-month-old wild child.
So Lila is 14 months.
She's 14 months. She was walking just before her first birthday.
Wow.
She's very talkative. Her current thing is, what's that? What's that? To everything. So it's a great time. It's a great, yeah. I love her to bits. Like she is one of the reasons that the academy was came to life, really. Wanting to be able to spend more time with her, and also then support other people in showing them that they can also have a flexible lifestyle to work around the families, in not just teaching baby massage, but in the birth and baby world.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, that's why I've got you here today. Like I said earlier, you are the queen of doing multiple things in your business.
Can I change my Instagram to that?
You can indeed.
Hannah Wallis, the queen. I would like to just say the queen. I'm gonna change my Instagram profile to a crown. The queen of multiple activities.
Yes, definitely do it. And that is not me. Please know I am not the queen of that. I am the queen of keeping things simple. And that's exactly why I wanted Hannah here today, because I really think when we work in the birth and baby world, we choose two routes. We either decide to really go in on one thing, doubling down on that one thing, being really known for that one thing, or we set up something that has this like flow of clients that you're meeting them at different points in their journey. And I really think that's what you do so well. And I know this is really appetizing to other people, this kind of idea that we don't only train as a hypnobirthing teacher, for example. We also, you know, put on postnatal services, you know, so we're following our clients through that. Now, like I said, that is not what I do. I do not do that. And I've been tempted to do that in the past. And then I remember that actually I am someone that needs that kind of simpler business model. I am someone that can get overwhelmed quite easily, and I feel that I am best when I'm doubling down on something that I've become known for. Now, I can't remember what I was going to say there. What even were I on about?
Something.
I was saying that this is very appealing to people. Appetizing, that's the word I used. Because, yeah, they want to be this, like, bigger business offering different things. Now, you obviously do this, and I would really like to pick your brains on how you do manage it all, you know, how you logistically spend your time, how you do it with a new baby as well. Like,
I have a bottle of wine in a backpack. A bottle of wine and a bar of chocolate. No, I don't really. Please don't. That's a joke. Yeah. So I think it's also, I'm going to start back just a couple of years back, just to show that I haven't always been in this industry. Like, this is very, very new to me, which I think is quite important to share. That I think a lot of people think that it maybe takes years and years and years to get somewhere, when actually, if you can put your all into it and you're very passionate about it, it doesn't take long to see like small successes. So I actually was a personal trainer before I even considered becoming a hypnobirthing teacher or a baby massage teacher. And that side of my business was really successful. So when I told people that I was going to train to be a baby massage teacher and a hypnobirthing teacher, they kind of looked at me, gone out. Like, first of all, you don't have any children. Secondly, you've got such a successful fitness business. Like, why? But I knew that I did eventually want a family, and that kind of job just doesn't work around a family. It is weekend work, evenings, early starts. It's very life consuming, and it also can be quite tiring as well, because when sometimes you're running classes, because I was doing a lot of online classes as well, so it's physically demanding on your body. Now I sound like I'm about 90 when I say that, don't I? Like, that makes me sound really old, but it is tiring. So I actually got my qualification in pre and postnatal fitness, and that's where the sort of journey to parent and baby wellbeing became a bit of a passion of mine. So I trained in pre and postnatal fitness and opened my doors to new and expectant mums, because I actually have got a studio at my house. So they were able to bring the babies with them, which was a massive selling point for me, to be able to offer a space that was quiet and wasn't overwhelming, that new mums could come and bring the babies. And so from there, I then started to explore other options. So how can I support these mums on their pre and postnatal fitness journey, but how can I support them before that and then beyond? So which is when I started looking at all my options and came across Love Your Birth. And so I actually remember joining one of your in the run up to your launches, when you do is teaching hypnobirthing for you. And I remember joining it, and I was actually so close to joining another hypnobirthing school, because I'd not found yours, and it was like the algorithm just pushed you to me, like, here, take a look at this one. And I remember joining and thinking, yes, Abby is a northern girl. Northern girls stick together. And I think just everything, I think we're very similar in our personalities, the way that, so it just aligned with me. So that the day after that, you got my money, you took my money, and we went from there. And then, so whilst I was training as a hypnobirthing teacher, I then went on to also look at other options, and then did my baby massage teacher training as well. So I qualified. I actually got my certificate. You sent me an email whilst I was sat in a pool in Cape Verde in December 2022. That's the life. Dreaming about that. Just a carefree life in a pool with multiple cocktails. I'm actually going back to Cape Verde in a few months. And I decided then that this is where I was going to try and push my business. So I got my certificate. Before I'd even qualified, I already had a couple booked with me through my advertising and asking on social media, and launched my Little Rosebuds business in January 2023. So it's actually not that long ago, really. We're in February 2025.
Wow.
And 2 years. Launched in January, fell pregnant in March.
Wow.
So it happened very quickly afterwards. In that first year, it was amazing, but it took off probably more than I imagined it would be. I was on the radio talking about hypnobirthing. I was on BBC Radio Sheffield. I won 2 awards. It was just it was just a really good year, and I think it's because I decided to just put everything into it, and I was really I was really passionate about wanting to support these mums and bringing something different. So not just your standard baby massage classes, like your standard like hypnobirthing or antenatal kind of classes, something that's felt really special and just and that for me I think is what elevated my business a little bit more, because it was something different to what other people were maybe offering. So fast forward to now, so I had Lila in December 2023, so she's now 14 months. But so you're saying that it's not for you. Running multiple things is not for you, and it's not for everybody. I am that person that just really likes to be busy a lot, so I like to be doing different things. People might actually say that I'm crazy. That might be a word that's thrown out there, like, you must be crazy trying to do all this. But for me, it's benefited my business in a lot of ways. And because I enjoy doing it, it's something that I know that I can keep up.
Fabulous. I mean, what a great journey you've had there. Like, just over 2 years. And you have gone from one industry to another and established yourself so well. Like, that is an inspiration for anyone thinking of coming into this industry. Now, what would you say the benefits have been for offering different things in your business? Because I know some people will train as a hypnobirthing teacher or train as a baby massage teacher, and they'll focus on that one thing, a bit like me, but what has been the benefit for you of having different things to offer?
Firstly, I really like the whole journey that you can be on. So if you're a hypnobirthing teacher, you're with those mums when they found out they're pregnant. It's all exciting. So especially, I really, really, really love running pregnancy relaxation courses because I just love creating that little community of these mums coming together and sharing that experience. And then once they've finished the course or they've finished a hypnobirthing course, yeah, you might keep in touch. But what's really nice is to then see them return with the little babies.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, the groups that I've had at pregnancy relaxation, because I put them in a group WhatsApp chat, they all then come back to baby massage together. And it's quite nice to know that you've created this little community of new mums that have met each other in something that you've put on.
Yeah.
And then obviously there's then the other side of it is that it's obviously a great additional income to have.
Yeah.
So if you are a baby massage teacher and you have got the flexibility to be able to work evenings, having the option to then train as a hypnobirthing teacher, that you can add on a more higher, I like to call it a higher ticket offering, because it is, and your pregnancy relaxation, it's just a nice additional way to add that extra income stream that works around your family. And then on the flip side, if you are a hypnobirthing teacher or a baby massage teacher and you have got the flexibility to be able to fill your days, then running baby classes or mum and me, like nurture circles like I run, that's another opportunity for you to fill that time. Now, I know not everybody is able to just completely like stop. If you're full-time working, it's obviously difficult to add that. Obviously, before became a baby massage and hypnobirthing teacher, I was self-employed anyway with my fitness business. I've just found that having multiple means that I'm able to reach more people as well, and also network and collaborate with other people that are not just birth workers, but then can network and collaborate with baby class teachers or baby yoga teachers, baby massage, baby sensory teachers. So it's actually opened up a lot more avenues as well. And it might sound like it's very overwhelming and it might sound like it's quite busy, but once you've got it all together and you know who your dream clients are and who you're talking to, once you've captured your hypnobirthing clients, then they're your clients again. So say they go on to they come to baby massage or baby yoga or baby sensory, whatever it is you choose to do, they have another baby, they're going to come back to you again for hypnobirthing or recommend a friend. So it might work for some people, it might not work for some people, but I think it's good to explore options. Absolutely. And if it doesn't work for you, then I always like to think like, I don't ever like to think what if. Yes. So like, what if I had never come across Abby and never trained in hypnobirthing? I never would have become a baby massage teacher. I never would have had the success in that industry that I have. And I know that if I'd have never met you, I would have never have launched my academy. I just know, I know that. And I always say this to people, like, that you are a massive inspiration to me. Like, fangirl in here, look. Just, I think, because you've been, like, just because you're so relatable, and just, I love training with you, and thought, do you know what? I love everything about your course, and I know that I can bring something very similar, but for the postnatal side of it. Yeah. So, So then we launched the academy. So the academy is now a thing, and it's just not only have I got the baby massage, the hypnobirthing, the relaxation, let's have a baby and throw something else into the works. Let's do that as well.
And you know what? It really makes so much sense. And, you know, like I said, my motto for me personally is keep things simple. I get why people really love this kind of model that you offer, you know, because ultimately someone who has used your services before, they're an easy win for your next service, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, and I knew as a hypnobirthing teacher, I only really had one thing to offer them. Yes, when they had another baby, they might come to me for a refresher course or even do the whole thing again. But I didn't have anything else to offer them. But for you, you know, those people are an absolute prime market, aren't they, for your postnatal services
Yeah.
because you've already got that connection. So marketing wise, it makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
And have you found that to be the case?
Yeah. So I've had actually quite interesting conversations with people about this recently. I've asked a bit of advice on like how to market it. Do I set up one social media for hypnobirthing and set up one social media for baby massage and what other baby classes that I'm teaching? But actually, those dream clients, they're all on that same page. They will come, whether they've already had the baby, even if you're posting about hypnobirthing, it's good for them to know that if they were to have further babies or know other people that are having babies. And I think it's also just nice for you to be able to show that you do offer all of this.
Yes.
You are very supportive of mums in no matter what journey that they're in. So it definitely can work. Like I've made it work, and I think I like to always share this with people that I had no experience. I had zero experience of running a birth and baby business. If you'd have told me in 2020, like middle of 2022, that in 2 to 3 years' time you will have birth and baby business, and not only that you'll be training people, I'd have just looked at them like, I think you've got the wrong person. You've got the wrong person. But if you haven't got the experience, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And also, you could dip your toes in different areas, and you might find that, okay, running hypnobirthing and pregnancy relaxation is just for me. I don't want to, there's too much else going on. Or you might trial some like antenatal, like mummy meetups, coffee mornings, for instance. You don't have to go and do any training for that. Find that you love it and then start to explore that option a little bit more. But it is a definitely what if. Don't sit there and think, what if? If it's something that you're passionate about, people are there for you. Like people want your services. So yeah, I love it. I love the chaos.
Yes. And like you said, if you haven't got any experience, it's not a problem. That is why you do your training. It's your training that gives you the understanding of how to do all these things. Everyone starts as a beginner, don't they?
Yeah.
Everyone. So I'm going to go back a step because I heard you say earlier how you did this before you had Lila. You came into this industry before you had a baby, which is quite different from a lot of people. I know a lot of people come into this kind of work because they've had a baby, and you did it the other way around. Now, I know as a hypnobirthing trainer that when I have discussions with people thinking of becoming a hypnobirthing teacher, sometimes they will say to me, oh, but I haven't actually used it myself. Is anyone going to take me seriously? Or I've never had a baby. Is anyone going to take me seriously? And of course, you are a walking example of that not being a problem. What would you say to those people?
Yeah, so I actually remember asking you if that was going to be a problem. I remember saying, I really want to do this, but does it matter that I've got I have no experience of children. I've got a dog. Not sure it's the same.
Potato.
Yeah. No, so I feel like there's benefits to both. So what I found worked really well for me. So for anybody that's listening to this thinking, I want to be a hypnobirthing teacher, I don't have any children, but I really, really am passionate about this. It might be that your sister's used hypnobirthing or a best friend has, and you've seen the impact it has. I found that I could be very impartial. So because I had no experience of labour and birth, I was very impartial, and then so I wasn't able to put my own opinions on what that could look like, because I didn't know. All I could offer was the facts, and there was never any bias there, because actually I've never experienced that. So I can give you, because we know hypnobirthing is very factual, and it should, obviously people who have used it will tell you their experiences, but I found it really beneficial to me in that sense, that I was able to just keep it extremely factual, because I have got no experience to share with you. So I can't tell you what that might look like, or I can't tell you what my experience of the NHS is in terms of labour and birth, because I haven't ever experienced it. What I can tell you is, these are the facts and the figures. This is the information behind it. And I can tell you now, it did not stop me from getting clients. It just wasn't something. I never got a message from somebody saying, I'd love to join your course, but see you don't have a baby, I've changed my mind. That just wasn't, it just wasn't a thing. So, and people can be quite people can share a lot on Instagram, Facebook, people can be quite private. So even if you have got children, a lot of people don't share that they've got children on Instagram, so they might not even know that. So if there is anybody that's listening to this podcast or has come across your training and thought, I absolutely would love to do this, but I don't have any children, I've not got a family, but I'm very passionate about supporting women through that process, then it really doesn't matter at all. I was very full throughout the first year of my business. Obviously, Lila was born in December, so that was a full year that I had no baby, and was still able to get like bookings. Same with baby massage. I was filling classes with babies and new mums. I wasn't a mum.
Yeah.
I'm sat in a room full of mums talking about how they're not sleeping and they're struggling, and I wasn't able to resonate with them. I was able to empathize with them and sit there with no bias to share, sort of just let them have a room basically to hold that space for them. But still, even now, as a baby massage teacher and a hypnobirthing teacher, I do try to keep those biases away anyway. So I think that's helped in a way, that I've started out that journey with not sharing opinions on anything, and I've just kept that. Still, when I'm sat with my mums in baby massage, when they're sharing stories, I do try to just take a step back, and you're not here to listen to what my night's been like with my child, or you're and sometimes we do share, because obviously it's nice for them to know that I have got a child that doesn't sleep and she likes to party in the night, but I am going to share those kind of things sometimes. But I think it's been quite nice to start off with no biases, no opinions, and just follow that through a little bit. So I know from my own experience that I was once that person that was worried about training because I had no experience, I had no baby, I had no family, but it's worked.
Yeah.
More than I probably thought it would.
Yeah. And isn't it interesting that so many women put these kind of barriers in front of themselves, you know, whether it's, but I haven't used it, or whether it's, but I'm not a midwife, or whether it's, I can't sing for a baby massage teacher, all these things we put in front of ourselves. And isn't it interesting that we don't expect that from anyone else?
No.
Do we go to the mortgage advisor and say, have you got a mortgage? We don't care.
Exactly.
We don't care. Do we go to a counsellor because we've experienced grief and say, have you ever had anyone pass away in your life?
Yeah.
Like, we just want them to be good at their job. Like, them personally experiencing something doesn't come into it. So we shouldn't have these things ourselves. But we always have these, but I might not be good enough,
Yeah.
And, on that note, like, you've taken big leaps in your business, in a short time.
Yeah.
And you've done something huge, as in go from your own business offering baby massage, hypnobirthing in your local area to setting up your academy. And you did that with a young baby yourself. Now, I know as mums, so often we can say, oh, I'm just not going to have time to do things like that. I bet you hear that too, Hannah, when people are thinking about training to be baby massage
Yeah,
instructors. Oh, I might not have time. I get it when people want to become hypnobirthing teachers, or I get it when they already are and they want to do bigger things, but they're like, oh, but I won't have time to do the marketing for it. How did you have time?
so you've got to be time savvy, and you've got to ask yourself a few questions as well, I think. And you've got to maybe sometimes have a little bit of a word with yourself, and you need to hold yourself, you need to be accountable for yourself a lot of the time, because when you're self-employed and you run a business, you haven't got people checking in on you to see, oh, have you done that Facebook post? Are you supposed to do that Facebook post at 2 o'clock and you've not done it yet? So I use snippets of time. This is going to, I think this is particularly like important to anyone with like young babies, because obviously I have done this from having a newborn. I utilise the time for, so nap time, get the laptop out, quickly do some scheduling, do some posts, bedtime, while they're sat playing, while they're in the high chair having something to eat, while I'm out on a walk with the pushchair, I've got Canva on my phone, I'm doing little bits. It's about that utilising. And I always say to myself, if I've got time to sit and watch one episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I have got time to put into my business. And I know I've used the excuse, I haven't got time, but actually you will find that 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there adds up quite a lot in the day. And it's not forever.
Yeah.
While you've got a young family and trying to run a business, that's probably quite hard because they're not at school, they're not in nursery, but it's not forever. And I think if you can get a business off the ground and start getting things in motion while you've got small children, then when they're at school, you are going to absolutely smash it. Like, you're going to have so much time to work on that business. It is doable, and I wouldn't sit here and tell you it was doable if I know I hadn't done it. I wouldn't just sit there and say, of course it's doable. Yeah, you can do it, because I actually have done it. So I know that there is time. You just have to find that time to do it. A lot of the time, and anybody that follows me on Instagram will see that my car is my office a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So like, if she falls asleep in the car, I take my laptop everywhere I go with me, because if she falls asleep and I want her to stay asleep in the car, that's a good half an hour of me. My laptop's out and I'm like trying to get stuff done. But equally, I also try and find the time to have the downtime so that I'm not burning out. So weekends, it will be family time, and I'll make sure that I've got enough content out there and stuff ready to schedule that it's not eating into family time. But most of the time, it's either in the car or when she's in bed.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the thing, like, this is exactly what I say to people. Like, it's not about having that perfect 4 hours in a row, undisturbed. Like, the reality of being a mum in business is often not like that. It's grabbing those imperfect chunks of time. And that's absolutely how I created my business. And ultimately, often the tasks that I was doing never really felt like a chore. It never felt like, oh God, I've got to do that. Like, actually, sometimes there'd be a little bit of resistance, you know, because sometimes there's a little bit of resistance doing anything, isn't there? But once I got into it, it actually like energized me.
Yeah.
Doing something for me, doing something I was passionate about, and actually made me feel a better parent. I mean, you know, like you, I'm a busy mum. I mean, I've got 4 children, as you know. And like you said, Hannah, like, when they're little, it is about grabbing those moments of time. Now, I definitely felt like, oh, when my kids go to school, I will have tons and tons of time. That has not been my reality. I know for some people it absolutely is, but it has not been my reality. And 12 years into parenting, you know, my son's still at home. And my children have got additional needs, and that's become a whole new hurdle. Thank blimmin' God I took the plunge to set up my own business.
Yeah.
Because if I think I haven't got time to send a few emails, I haven't got time to create a bit of content, well, I tell you what I haven't got time for. Going to work 9 to 5.
No.
I ain't got
Yeah.
time for that. So if I'm not going to make time for this amazing business that energizes me, what's the alternative? I get a 9 to 5 job that really takes me away from my family. You know, it's a choice, isn't it? And when we're really passionate about something, one, it doesn't feel like work. Two, we get to decide when we do it. And three, it's an alternative to that real, like, icky work that many of us dread, you know?
Yeah.
I need the 9 to 5.
I couldn't, like, I think now because I've experienced all sorts. So I used to work in retail, I used to do night shifts, I've worked 9 to 5, I've worked different hours, self-employed different hours, unsociable. But actually, when you find that one thing that doesn't feel like work, because it doesn't, and it's I think in anything in that sense where you're making a difference to somebody's life, but you actually, it doesn't feel like work. So when I teach hypnobirthing courses, to me it feels like I'm sat in a room with friends and I'm helping them. I'm sat there with a cuppa. It's great, take great time. It's the same with baby massage. I don't feel like it's work. I feel like I'm sat with a group of mum friends teaching, obviously, the wonderful benefits of baby massage, but at the end of the day, it's what I'm doing to support, like, my family, and that I want to be able to spend more time with my family. I want to be able to, for Lila to grow up and me to be able to say to her, I've got all the 6 weeks holidays off with you. I've got all of Easter off with you. But yeah. And I also, another key thing about the time thing is, I'm not the lucky person that's child sleeps to a certain amount of time in the morning. She wakes up at 5 a.m. every day, even if she's not slept through the night, which is great fun for me at the minute. But if you've got a business that you're really passionate about and you really want it to work, if you say your children sleep until 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, set your alarm an hour earlier, get up and do it then.
Yeah.
Because nobody else is going to do it for you.
Absolutely.
I think that's the key thing, is that once you've got your own business, you haven't got people checking in on you. Nobody's going to be doing those social media posts for you. So you have to find the time, and it might be the most randomest times. It might be stood while you're cooking a spag bol. It might be while you're taking the dog for a walk, but you utilise those little snippets. So that's how I kind of manage to do it here, there, and everywhere.
Love that so much. And you know, how wonderful is it for our children to see that work doesn't have to be, right, see you later, I'll see you in 10 hours, you know? Now, I'm not saying that's a wrong way to work at all. You know, for lots of people, they like that, or, you know, they say they do. Anyway, but isn't it great to show kids that there's so many different ways of working, and work doesn't have to be something that's so very separate from life? You know, it's one of the reasons that I hate the term, like, work-life balance, because it makes out you're not kind of living when you're working.
Yeah.
You're still alive when you're working, you know, it's still part of your life. Some of my most magical memories have been created whilst I've been working. I am definitely living. You know, it's definitely
alive.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to be so, like, segregated, does it? And that's okay, you know? Yeah. So I love that you've said that and really, you know, explained, like, the realities of it, that it might be when Lila's sleeping in the car. It might be when she's, you know, sat in a high chair doing a little bit. It doesn't have to be so separate, and that's totally okay. Now, I know you are an amazing mentor as well as a baby massage teacher.
Everything else.
Everything else, yeah. Training people to be baby massage teachers. And of course, as you know, lots of people listen to this podcast that already have a baby business, whether they are a hypnobirthing teacher, whether they teach pregnancy yoga, baby massage, whatever. And I'm really putting you on the spot here, Hannah, because please, listeners, be aware I didn't tell her that I was going to ask this.
Oh, goodness
I'm
me.
sure she'll like freestyle with it.
You're like that radio presenter that outed my pregnancy live on radio.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. Oh, that's a story for a different day. When I was on BBC Radio Sheffield, I told her that I just found out that I was pregnant. I was only 16 weeks, so I hadn't really told anyone. When we came back to the second segment, she was like, Hannah's got something exciting to share with everybody. And I was like, okay. But it was also great because I told loads of people I was going to be on the radio, which it actually made me realise who listened to it and who didn't. So I could see like the ones that listened to it messaging me like, oh my God, congratulations. I was like, I know you people that didn't support me on my radio stint. You don't know my secret. But yeah, okay, what we go for it. Throw it at me.
All I'm asking you, don't worry, I'm not out in any little secrets or anything like that, is you've obviously got a really successful baby business. That is what the listeners of this podcast are striving for. Yeah. What would be your top tips for those people?
Okay, so these are things that have helped me massively. So the first thing that I would say is to stop with your limiting beliefs. To stop, because if I hadn't believed in myself and what I was capable of, I wouldn't be sat here on this podcast right now talking to you about everything, having that confidence. Now, I haven't always been that confident person. I had a lot of setbacks in my life. I got told by one of my old managers that I was a procrastinator and I would never amount to anything. I would keep telling people that I would do stuff and I never would. And that had put a lot of limiting beliefs on me. But once I had seen what I was capable of, I took those limiting beliefs away and just thought, do you know what? I'm just going to go for it. And if people don't like what I'm doing, they can press the unfollow button. See you later. That's probably another thing, is to not worry about what other people say, what other people think about you. I've had like a tough time the last year or so with like close friends that I don't think they'll ever listen to this, so, and if they do, hi, how are you doing? For whatever reason, I don't know the reason, couldn't tell you, completely ghosted me, just gone, like poof, see you later, gone, goodbye. And old me would have really let that affect me, and I probably would have stopped maybe posting as much on social media, not putting myself out there, because is that the reason they're not friends with me anymore? But if people don't like what you're doing, they're not your people. Go and find new people. Yeah. And I have found new people in the last 6 months that are really, they want like the best for me and my business. And these people I've known for 6 months of my life, and I know that these are my people. Yeah. So limiting beliefs, try and listen to positive podcasts, listen to positive affirmations, and know that you are worthy of anything that life gives you. Like, not to tell yourself that, well, why should I have success? Because you are worthy of that. Not letting other people get in the way. If they unfollow you, then say, girl, bye, see you later. I don't mind that. Invest in yourself. And we had this conversation, and you've mentioned it on a podcast. There will be times where you invest in something that is absolutely just not worth that investment, but you'll not know until you try it. Invest in something. So if you see a course out there and you think, do you know what, that could really benefit my business, just go for it. Because what if you didn't? You might take some snippets out of it that have really enhanced your business. So I would say definitely invest in yourself. Invest in your business as well. And I mentioned this a little bit on that CPD thing that I did for the Love Your Birth students. You have to spend money to make money sometimes. And if you want a business that looks like it's professional and you want people to come, invest in your own business as well, because your business is worthy of your investment. It definitely is. And I would also say, don't be afraid to ask for help. So if you need help with something, if you're struggling, if you are taking on too much, delegate things to people where, like, if you can. That's been a massive like change for me in the last year, especially with my academy. It's delegating jobs out to people, and just go for it. Do it. If you've been sat there thinking, I want to be a hypnobirthing teacher, but I don't know, just send Abby an email and say, hey, I'm ready. If you want to be a baby massage teacher, send me an email. Say, hey, I'm ready. If you want to do it both, send us both an email and say, I'm ready. But honestly, one of the best decisions I ever made, and my business wouldn't be where it was today, is if I hadn't just taken the plunge and done it. Because actually, it might be a few £1,000s to invest in that training, but I'm so glad that I did that rather than being stuck in a job that is just a way. I don't get that Monday morning feeling. So yeah, they're my like top tips. Believe in yourself. Say bye to people that don't serve you purpose in life anymore and that aren't happy for you. Invest in yourself and ask for help.
Love that. Oh, thank you so much for sharing that. And,
Okay.
you know, on your last point there, you know, it reminds me of an episode that I did fairly recently on waiting for the right time. You know, so often in business, in life, we put off the things we want to do because it's not quite the right time. And the perfect time never comes along, does it?
No, it doesn't.
I mean, you know, in your story, you said you trained and a month or two later you were pregnant. Like, some people could think, oh my gosh, the timing. But actually, you make what you need to work.
Yeah.
You know, there is never the perfect time. I mean, as that phrase it goes, like, the best time was yesterday, the second best time is today, or whatever that phrase is. I'm not sure. But yeah, it reminded me of that. And you're a perfect example of someone that just does it.
Just do it. Like Nike says, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. We are only here one time. If you are not getting fulfillment out of something that you are doing, do not wake up every day thinking, I wish I could do this. Just go. There's people out there, like, I'm more than happy to answer people's questions. So if you've got a question about being self-employed or launching a baby business or launching a hypnobirthing business or even launching a training academy, and I'm sure you'll be exactly the same, ask questions. Like, we're nice people. Like, we're approachable. Ask the questions, because you might ask the questions and get answers that maybe, okay, I didn't expect that. Or you might ask the question, but like, oh my God, I actually really did not realise that I could make X, Y, Z income from teaching a baby class.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, where can people find you?
I'll not give you my address, because... So, for anything, so if you are interested in seeing my kind of class setups, if you want an inspiration, then you can follow me at Little Rosebuds Wellbeing on Instagram. And if you are interested in baby massage training at all, or have any questions about that, or if you are a birth and baby business looking for like a little bit of extra support, you can find me at the Little Rosebuds Academy.
Fabulous. And those people that have done their hypnobirthing training with me and train with Hannah then get to do a discount. That's right, isn't it?
You will.
Hannah?
Yeah. So if you are, if you've trained with Abby, but I'm also just going to say, if you listen to Abby's podcast, this episode, because, you know, all the support is needed. If you are a Love Your Birth student or you've listened to this podcast episode, I've got an exclusive £100 off discount across all my training, and also across all payment options. So there's different options on there. And if you can't find me at the Little Rosebuds Academy, it'll be under the Queen. The Queen of the Queen of multitasking. That's if you can't find me, that's where I'll be.
And all they need to say to get that discount is, I'm one of Abby's pals.
Yeah,
and
I'm Abby's mate. Hey up.
Yeah.
Hey up, duck.
We don't say
duck.
duck in West Yorkshire.
No,
I think
no,
that's
I don't say
South
it in.
Yorkshire
I think,
thing.
but I don't even say that. I think it's. I don't actually know where it's come
Is
from.
it more Nottingham? I went to uni in Nottingham, and a lot of people said duck there.
Hey up, duck. Don't know.
Yeah, I think it is. Midlands,
We get
I think.
a lot. We get a lot of. I think that in South Yorkshire there's a lot of hey up love, hey up cocker. So that's
Cocker, yes.
yeah.
It's
Oh, please
interesting,
don't call
isn't
me
it?
that. Hello, how I'm more like hello, how I probably sound really pop. Hello, how are you? I'm the queen of multitasking. Anyway, yeah, that's where you can find me. Always happy to help with anything, anything at all. I'm very approachable, very friendly. So please come and say hi. And if you have
Yes, you
enjoyed
are.
this, come and say hello to us both. Just
Yes,
come
absolutely.
come and show
Come
the
and have a
love.
chat. Come and have a cuppa, you know? Right, well, thank you so much, Hannah, for
You are
joining us
welcome.
and being our very first guest.
I know. I feel very privileged, you know.
Well, you have been the best guest we've had. You've been the best first guest.
You've not set the bar very high there, have you? You're the best guest we've ever had. We've not had anyone before. Thanks.
Oh, well, thank you everyone for listening. Do go and check Hannah out. You will leave with tons of inspiration for making your hypnobirthing classes, relaxation classes, baby massage classes just beautiful and stand out from the rest. So go have a look and definitely check out her training and all her juicy business tips too. And I shall see you on another episode of the Rockabye Revenue Podcast. Remember, if you've enjoyed, do rate it 5 stars. It always helps people find this podcast. See you next time. Bye. Thank you for listening to Rockabye Revenue. I hope this episode has left you with some fresh ideas and bundles of motivation. If you enjoyed this episode, do make sure you click subscribe so you never miss an installment. And if you found this episode useful, I'd love you forever if you leave a 5-star review, helping this podcast reach the ears of more of the helpers in this world. And remember, keep changing lives. See you next time.